Related to this, I was asked because I've told the story about um, I was at Nob Hill buying something. I know many of you have heard the story, and the person that was checking, I was wearing something that identified me as being a member of a real estate organization. The person said, "How's the real estate business?" So, how's the real estate business? Something like that. And it took me a second to remember why they would be asking me this question. And then I remembered that I was wearing something that identified that I was in real estate, and I said it was great that I just listed a perfect home for somebody who wanted to buy their first home. It was a great starter home, and I said, "Who do you know that's interested in buying their first home?" And she said, "I am." And she didn't buy my listing because nobody did. But it was she bought a house over on Gold Run, a condo, and 5 years later listed it and sold it and bought a house, another house in Blossom Valley from me. So it was one, two, three transactions because I was self-identified as a real estate agent, and I had something to say when she said, "So how's the real estate business?" Right? I was asked yesterday if because I how many times this has happened to me, and thinking about it since then, I can identify more than a dozen transactions that I did from just talking to people. I was at the fish market one day having lunch, and some guy that was sitting near me was talking, and I started talking to him, and he had a house that he wanted to sell in 95136, and I listed and sold the house. The more I think about it, the more of these came up. So what that means is that you can meet people just about anywhere. And I know people that work. There's one, the million in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the MREA, which is how many of you have read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent? Okay, no. I would read it. One of the people that was interviewed in the writing of the book is Christina Martinez Silva, who happens to work at Century 21. Used to work at Century 21. I think she still does, and which is how I got to know her. And she's in Santa Clara County, and essentially works with her church. And I mean, she really, really works with the church. I mean, really works with the church, and does hundreds of transactions a year, and is well, she has now a group that she's basically created her own team in her own office as a result. But she's the one who generates. I don't know how many she does, but she does a lot, grossing over a million plus a year. So the issue is that if you're talking to people, you can get business. But the question is, so how's the real estate business? Isn't that what everybody's going to ask you? So how's the real estate business? Now, going to team meetings, you might have something. What would you say? What takeaway? What I believe you ought to have is a weekly elevator speech, something that you could say every week that you've practiced, because that's the question everyone's going to ask you. How's the real estate business, right? And what would you say based upon today's session? That how would you answer? So how's the real estate business? Great, fantastic. Things are opening up. We're getting a little more inventory. Right. Texas taxing. So it's loosening up for buyers. Right? Related to this, and I'm going to do one technical thing and that's it. Right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But what you really ought to do is to be curious about the multiple listing service and the statistics. And there's let me just pull this up. In MyKW, if you were to go to MyMarketing and under create marketing materials or manage and create campaigns. And what I'm going to do is we're going to click on manage and create campaigns. Whether or not you email this, mail it, or hand it out to people, I believe that there's value in you focusing on what's going on in the real estate business so that you can articulate it in some way. And so this is a blank. This is one that's not really used, but I'm just going to click on it for demonstration purposes, where it clicks on build a new campaign. And I'm going to click on Market My Business to Sphere. And there's Did You Know, our little household tips. But this month in real estate, 12 direct is what I wanted to just discuss. If that's, I was going to sort of go through how to make one. Doesn't that sound exciting? So I've clicked on that, and this is what pops up. And notice it's got email, multi-channel, and direct mail. Now, I believe that if all you do is send people emails that have newsletters or marketing materials in them, your response is not going to be that great. How many emails do you get? Right? How many of them don't you read? And that's a problem with just sending emails. I know why a lot of people like to click that box, because it doesn't cost anything to send emails. It doesn't produce any results, but it doesn't cost anything to send emails. Multi-channel means we're not going to produce results most of the time, but we might get something occasionally because we're going to do half and half. If the people were someone that you've identified as being likely to work with you, I would click direct mail. Now, we talked about the 101 ways to lead generate. I'm going to do this one again. I know some of you have heard me do this many times. How about having a goal to find 10 people that are willing to refer 2 people to you a year? Right? 10 people that would refer 2 people a year to you. Could you live on that business? Yeah. All right. 20 transactions in our market is way over $200,000. That's over $200,000 in gross commission income. Right? You could live on that. And if you got I was about to say greedy. If you got more motivated, you could add another 30 people that would be willing to refer 1 person to you. Right? So that would be 50 transactions from 50 people. Isn't that right? Something like that? 10 that did 2 is 20, and then 30 who did 1, that's 50. So it's actually from 40 people. All right. So direct mail has an advantage in that people are more likely to look at it. Even if they throw it away, they see your name and your picture. Right? These are postcards. I liked postcards because I knew that even if people threw them away, they saw them. They would look at them as they were throwing them away. Right? And I had people say, I don't know why you kept sending me all these postcards, but a lot of times they were saying that when I was listing their house. Right. So I'm going to assume that you're willing to do postcards. Now, am I talking about sending out thousands of postcards here? No. Right. Not thousands. Right. And if it makes you squeamish, I'm going to do postcards because that's I get to do what I want to, don't I? Right now, you can't stop me. So we're going to click on postcards. I'm going to click customize and advanced setup. I'm recording this to put it among most of the things I'm just putting on my YouTube channel because I'm too lazy to put them on both channels. But this shows us all the different things. I'm going to click on next step. And next step is going to show me a little bit more. Notice what it's saying here, this month in real estate, direct mail. And by the way, yesterday, I believe, was a reminder notice that basically said you can now update that particular piece. In other words, that you can't update December 2014's newsletter today, right? Because just because you can't do that, right? So what we're going to do is click on this. I assume this is valuable to you if I do this. All right. I have two groups of people. One says too much technology. Some people say I can't do anything. So I don't really know which one to go on. But I thought I would do one and show you how I did it. And then I'm just going to. So here it is. This start editing. Home sales 4.6 million, up, down, minus. There's all these little different things here. So what I'm going to do.
That's for the country, right?
This is for the country. We have to modify it. Right? So what I usually would do is I would start, notice I'm clicking on the date here, May 2014 hyphen Santa Clara County edition. And I'm going to just grab onto that and drag it out. And I might even, I've highlighted it. And if I'm going too fast, let me know. I'm going to make it bigger. And then maybe make it bigger. So what you have to do, no, you want to go to, all right, I'm going to do, have you previewed, have you verified? Sure, I just want to close. All right. There are a lot of good videos on how to do this, but what I want to do is you want to go to, I'll start right at the beginning again. But under eEdge control panel, you want to go to MyMarketing and click on the plus sign next to MyMarketing. And then click on Manage and Create Campaigns. By the way, I record these, and if you're struggling with this, the value of the recording is that you can stop it, right? You also can turn my volume down. Yours may look different if you've already activated campaigns. This is a great big ad. This is a demo one that I'm doing. So I'm going to click on the blue pin, or the arrow, and then you'll see something like this. And we're going to click on Market My Business. And we're going to go to 12 Direct this month in real estate. Market My Business Sphere. And we're going to go to 12 Direct this month in real estate. And I'm picking, because I want to get the best results, direct mail. And then I'm going to click Customize in Advanced Setup. The one on the right. The one that says direct mail. You may need to watch this video again. The blue one, right. I'm recording it now. And then customize in advanced setup. And then we want to just hit the next step. We don't really want to be clicking on this right now. Click on the red button that says next step. Okay. And then here it is. We don't want to click on it right now because it's just going to sort of give us a preview. We want to click on the little pencil, which is next to the X and to the magnifying glass. We want to click on the pencil that says edit. Is everybody with me? And then, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Maybe I'll send everybody one. But not a postcard because I'm too cheap. All right. So now we're looking at something that looks like this. Now, I would suggest you click on where it says May 2014 and make the box bigger. And what I would then do is add a space, a hyphen, a space, Santa Clara County Edition. You can call it whatever you want, and then I'm highlighting all of that text, and I'm going up here to font size, and I'm moving it up to 12 so that it's bigger, and it says Santa Clara County Edition. Okay. Now, the problem is none of these numbers can we leave alone except for interest rates. Right, we can leave the interest rates alone. Home sales. So where I'm also right now is I'm logged into the MLS. And we're going to do this simply. You could spend a lot more time on this, but I'm going to go to Matrix Search, Continue, and I'm going to go to Stats, and I'm going to be doing it right now for everyone, but I'm going to say I want to know single-family homes, and I want to do Santa Clara County, which is SCC. Now, there's a bunch of different presets, but if we look back at our editor, the first one is home sales. So I'm going to look here and see number of homes for sale versus sold, right? Now, I could just click on that because I don't want to, it's going to give me more information than I need, but why don't I just click on that and I'm going to click on generate. Does everybody see what I did? I clicked on single family homes. I put in Santa Clara County. I clicked on number of homes for sale versus sold, and I'm clicking on generate. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a graph, a chart. And I could, by the way, copy this chart and just paste it in here if I was really lazy. But what I want to do right now is look at the data. So I'm going to click on the data. And what it's going to tell me that for April of 2014, the active pending were 2843, and the number of closed sales was 978. Does everybody see that? Okay, so I now know something. If we look at the editor, is there anything here about number of sales? How about right here? And we don't have 4.6 million. We have 978. Now, compared to year over year, the only thing that I have issues with this is that it doesn't show me April of last year. Does everybody see that? This is the only sneaky part of this. So what I'm going to do is go to customize, and instead of saying for the past complete months, I'm just going to go down and pick the past 3 years. And I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to hit generate just because it's going to go way back in time. It'll go way back in time. It's going to take a while, but it's going to go way back in time. Thank you. All right. So, see, I told you way back. So 978 was April of 2014. What was April of 2013? 1027. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a handy calculator, and I'm going to put in 1027 minus 978 equals 49. So there were 49 fewer sales this year compared to last year, but we were up over last month. So what I usually do is I use Notepad, which is a accessory in Windows. I know they have something similar in Macintosh, but I know that April 2014 was 978, and I know that April of 2013 was April of 2013 was 1027, and that the difference was 49, and March of 2014 was 553. So 978 looks like it's more. 978 minus 553 equals, wow, a big difference. 425. Is that really true? No, March of 2000 it was 763. I didn't see. All right, 763. How about that? So 978 minus 763 equals 215. All right. So it looks like sales are down over last year, but up over last month. Isn't that what it's saying? Now, if I go back to the editor, and what I'll do when I'm done is how about if I email this to, I'll print it out. So what it's saying is so there's some text here. Home sales were down year over year. That's true, but, and up month over month. Is this too difficult? kidding myself that anyone besides me is going to do this? Okay. Okay. So, and it talks about seasonally adjusted annual rate of home sales. By the way, to edit this text, what I often do is just highlight it and copy it. And remember, and always ask me this question. I go here to Notepad and I paste it in, so I can look at the text. And I don't know about seasonally adjusted, but I'm just going to call this single family home sales in Santa Clara County. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm happy. I like that text. I go back here. I paste it in. All right. By the way, I'll print this out when I'm done so that you could just go through. Now, what this arrow is showing is that it went down 7.5% from last year. Well, I don't know about that. So what I do know is the formula is the difference divided by the old total, right? That's the formula. So the difference is 49 divided by 1027, which is last year's, and that shows 4.7. Why don't we call that 5%? Did everybody see how I got to that? I took the difference between April of 2013 and April of 2014, which is 49, and I divided 49 by 1027. Incoming phone. Excuse me. All right. Hopefully I haven't lost it. A what? That was an email I received. So I'm going to round this to 5%. Is that okay? All right. So I always feel. So I'm going to say minus. You see the minus here? We're just going to say minus 5%. And I like to put it in the center since 1 year ago. Now, how was it compared to last month? Well, it was up 215, right? So remember, what's the formula? The difference, 215, divided by the old total, which is 763, gives us 28% increase. Isn't that right? The difference between 978 and 763 is 215, which is 215 represents 28% increase over last month. So we're going to go back here and we've got a problem. And the problem is that, first of all, maybe you can see what the problem is going to be. We're going to put in a plus sign. Oops, not that one. But we're going to put in a plus sign and we're going to say 28%. And I always like to click on the formatted. But you see, the problem is that the arrow goes down. All right. Oh my gosh, we can't. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And if we try to do that, that's not going to work. So if we grab onto this, by the way, and we go like that, we now have the arrow going in the right direction. All right? Grab it by the little peak's tail, the little green thing, and now we moved it around. All right. So we only have a little bit left. So the other one is home price. So we go back here to matrix, and what we can just do is we go over here and we can just pick median sales price. And I'm going to take out the next one, and I'm just going to click on this, and this is going to tell us what the median sales price in Santa Clara County has been for the last 3 years, which is way more than we wanted to know. But the nice thing about it, notice how it lines all the Aprils up right away. It's 904. So getting back to our list, so if what I'm just going to do is I'm going to say April 2014 equals, and 904. Come on, back. Come on, come on. Equals 904. And then April of 2013 equals 790. And then how about March of 2014 equals 860. All right, so I now know. By the way, is it good to know one of my farming flyers says prices are up, right? You know, sales are, I mean, one of the knowing to have that statistics may be useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out these numbers. So we're going to say it's currently 904, 123 minus 790,123 equals 114,000 is the difference. 114,000. And so we take 114 and we divide that by the old total, which is, no, that's, we're not doing that one yet. 790. And we get a 14 point, let's call it a 14% increase from last year. Is that helpful here? So first of all, we need to know the number. What is our number? 904. And so I'm going to go ahead and make it look nice. 904,000 is our number. Are we doing better than 904? All right, I guess that's good enough. That's our number. We go back to the editor. We highlight this. We put in 904. And that's up. This, and we're not talking about average. So I just copy this. I just copy the text. I put it into this so that I can, and this is median, SIN, single family home price in Santa Clara County. All right. I copy it and I paste it in here because it's easier for me to modify it in this than it is to modify it there. And so I paste it in and I've changed the text. And the arrow is, how much did it go up since the last year? It went up 14%. So what I'm going to do is just highlight this and I'm going to change, and this I'm just going to 1, 4, and then I always like to hit the center because it's a ADD thing since a year ago, and then now we want to know how does it look compared to last year. So last year was 860, so we say 904 minus 860 is 44,000. So the difference equals 44,000, and we divide that by the old total, which is 860. From but they want to know March to April. Anyhow, it's the difference. I think I lost it there. Is 5%. So if we look at this, and we just want to get rid of the 5.4. I don't know about the points. So what it's saying is that we had 978 sales in Santa Clara County, which was down 5% from a year ago, but up 28% from last month. Our median price was 904, which was up 14% from last year, up 5% from last month, and we've made a postcard. Right? By the way, the same process would be used if you were going to do the email, right? But I thought I would show you a postcard. That's the postcard front. That's the postcard back, right? And so you would look at that. Email footer is this little thing down here. I wouldn't mess with that. And now that we're done, we could go save as, and I'm going to call this, if you're doing it in the postcard, it should have been up at the where it says change page, postcard front, postcard back. Keep editing. I don't want to keep postcard front, postcard back. All right. So what I'm going to do is exit this. And oh yeah, okay. I've done that. And so now it's going to show me here it is. And what I can do now that I've modified it, and I can tell from this distance that it's got our numbers, 978, right? It's ready. And if I click on this, what it's going to do, and it may be slow because it just may be slow, it's going to pull up a view of what this looks like, right? This is what it looks like. And if I click on print preview, and I'll print out enough copies if you guys really want it. But notice it allows me to download the PDF. And I'm going to just open it so you can see what it looks like in all of its beauty. And this is what it looks like in all of its beauty. Well, in a second. Just hey. All right. So here's that. All right. That looks reasonable, doesn't it? And there's that. And there's a place for you to put an envelope and a label and a stamp. By the way, if you have people's addresses, this will merge. Yeah. All right. They'll even mail them for you. This is a postcard. This is a postcard. I don't think did I say the E word? Is it? Did I? I was trying to push it. The envelope.
Okay, so wonder if you don't want to use
Well,
distributor of this. Can you print this and take it to another?
well, right now it's a PDF, and if it's a PDF, if it's a PDF, the answer is yes. You could take it anywhere you want to. All right, you can email it to. You can get it printed anywhere you wanted to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print out one copy, and what I want to do is do 2 up, horizontal. Come on. How about that? And so I'll print it out if you guys want to see what one looks like. Well, only if you have a cup, right? And so it's a postcard. You could spend more time. Do you know you could modify? There's opportunity in every market. You could modify that if you wanted to, but this is a reasonable looking little postcard, right? Something you could use.
So this would be if you don't have a lot of money, you don't want to do 100 or 200 or 500, whatever the number is, and you're working with Regal Gate, then
You could send it to the people that are more likely to respond. I was thinking that you might want to do this to your sphere of influence. Do you have a sphere of influence?
buddies and friends and neighbors.
Right.
Or like with farming, the next likely to sell.
You could do that too. Could we make this a Willow Glen specific postcard? Could we have done that? Sure. All we have to do is, instead of saying Santa Clara County, put in Willow Glen. Right? Could you have made this, right? So you could have made it for Campbell. And if you were doing it, could you use it in an open house?
This is for Santa Clara County.
I did Santa Clara County because I don't know. You guys are all over the place.
You could even do the search by map. Can you do? It would allow you the criteria to do search by map and do it like the neighborhood.
The question is, can you do a search by map? And the answer is yes, but the statistics aren't going to be as useful because there aren't that many sales. But notice right here, it does say map search. So the answer is yeah, you can do that and select an area. I would find a zip code perhaps better. See, like Cambrian is 124 and 118. If you were farming 118, you could just put in 95118 and just do it for that. But the problem with doing smaller areas is one expensive sale or one cheap sale messes the average, right? The median doesn't is that's why I use median instead of average, but it's a different thing. All right. So, wasn't that just exciting?
I like that. That was good.
Okay.